Hey everyone, welcome to a special episode here on CBW Farms. This is Chad, and today we have a bit of a challenge, kind of. Driver 53 kind of started something here on his channel. He gave out his top 17 mods for Farming Simulator 19 on PS4. Well, yeah, after that, we were watching Jelsa Farmer's live stream yesterday, and he challenged a bunch of us YouTubers to do the same. So Jelsa Farmer released a video today on his 17 top mods for PS4, or for console I should say. Rusty Money Gaming is going to be working on his. Bruce's Gaming is going to work on his for PS4 and for PC. I believe Pro Gamer 2018 is thinking about doing that as well. But anyhow, CBW Farms thought he'd follow suit, so here we go. Let's check out my 17 top mods on console. First of all, we're going to start right here. And one of my top mods, I don't really have any specific order of any of these, but these are mods that I generally will use on most of my Let's Plays that I kind of do, or, you know, just playing around, I guess. We have Alien Jim's Mercury Farms pack. It is a fun pack here. Cheap as chips. Here we have a shop. Right here we have a wash bay. And you can see they come in different textures. You got the old rock there. You got the more American Red Barn style. This is a wash bay. It's got power washer on it. We got the fertilizer shed and herbicide. Oh, nope, that one's seed. This one's seeds, I'm sorry. This one's fertilizer. I believe the seed shed also has lime, and this one's got your liquid and your solid fertilizer. And here we have one of my favorite silos to use. We'll look at these in a store in a moment. We'll build them here. That's kind of the fun part about them. You can see now we get a brick texture on this one. And it holds pretty much everything. Whatever you want to put in here, liquids or solids, anything. 5 million liters, if I remember right. We'll check that out in the store too. Here we have one of the machine sheds. Gotta love the sound effects. Here's kind of more of a white brick. And this one's got opening doors as well. Kind of nice for some older role playing. Here's another machine shed. This one doesn't have doors on it. You can see the nice textures, and all of these buildings do have lights in them. Not that I'm finding the light switch at the moment here. But they do have lights nonetheless. I thought it was on the center post. There it is. It is on the center post. Oh, yep, you can see they all have lights in them. I'm kind of going through these a little quick because this could be a long video otherwise. And finally, we have kind of a drive-through machine shed. Again, I went with kind of the more red wood style, I guess. Like I said, this one's more of a drive-through machine shed. So there's number one, is the Mercury Farms pack by Alien Jim. Next, we have the multi-silo, multi-fill silo. It's got lime, fertilizer, and seeds. And this is by CNS and Marie. This one gets used a lot. You'll see Mr. Sealy P uses it quite a bit. Bruce's Gaming uses it. Jelsa Farmer uses it. A lot of us use it. And it's cheap as chips, as Mr. Sealy P would say, for those 3 ingredients. And final shed that we kind of have here is the wooden grain silo. And the wooden multi-fruit silo, or silo wood, by Omatana. Let's look these up in the store. First of all, we'll go into placeables. Nothing under animal pens, but under miscellaneous. Here you can see AJ Tech is what it's called, Alien Gym Tech. The workshop, you can get it in 4 different styles. And then the Mercury Farms washing station in the 4 different styles. And you got the seed hut. Like I said, you can see they're cheap as chips there. The seed and fertilizer is a little spendy in them, but not bad. I use them quite often. And here's the multi-fruit silo, or the multi-silo from CNS and Marie. And that's $6,000 to buy that. And we'll scroll along here. Oh, an honorable mention will be the Missy B slurry yard. It pays good for digesting. So yeah, that's what we got miscellaneous. Under silos, we'll scroll over here. You'll see the AJ Tech there, the Mercury Farm silo. Oh, 500,000 liters, I'm sorry, 500,000 liters. And it holds pretty much everything. In the 4 styles. So these I use on most every map, and this silo wood for $30,000 holds pretty much everything, 10 million liters. Like I said, this one or the Alien Gym ones I use quite often. So those are in my tops. So again, we get the CNS and Marie, the bulk buy, and we've got the Mercury Farm Shed Pack by Alien Gym, and the wooden multi-fruit silo by Omatana. So those are 3 of my favorites right there that I use on a lot of my Let's Plays, and yeah, they always kind of come with me no matter what map that I'm on. And then we have the machine sheds, or vehicle sheds, from the Mercury Farms pack, the 4 styles of that, the 4 styles of the open ones, and then the 4 styles of the drive-through ones. Like you can see they're really inexpensive, and you can make them match whatever scenery that you have. So there's my buildings. Well, let's go on. Number 4, my big bag lifter. You'll see Mr. Sealy P uses this a lot, Jelsa uses it a lot of guys use it, and I love using it. It works so much nicer than pallet forks. And this is in the CSZ pack, the CSZ pack. And this is by DD Mod Passion. Let's find it in loaders. It's under loaders. Front loaders. We'll scroll on over. It's in here a little ways. There it is. Big bag handler. Only $300, and you can use tension belts to lift anything. Very nice. No customization to it. We'll put that on the loader here a minute. This R series by Custom Modding is on my I use this quite often, the 8R and the 6R and the 7R. They've got a lot of customizations, but yeah, here you can see it. And what we're going to do is go on to our next mod, but you'll see how this works here. Oop. Lift it up, do whatever. Real easy to use and real stable. You get long things on there. It can kind of do what Bruce's Gaming calls helicoptering, but other than that, it's a peach to use. Again, this is by DD Mod Passion. We'll put him down here. And our next mod on the list is from Quiet Hitman, and this is a reusable egg pallet. And you can actually take your egg boxes, if you had one here, and you can set them inside of there. Plus you can lift these by hand, even when they're full. And they hold a lot. Let's look at these in the store. These will be under pallets. And he's got all kinds of reusable pallets that you can fill with bulk materials or liquids. Here's a reusable egg pellet that we're using there, $200 to buy. It holds 4,800 liters of eggs. Like I said, it works so nice. He's got a wool pallet too that I use quite a bit. That's kind of an honorable mention also. But the egg pallet is my go-to on every map. So yeah, let's go on down the way here. Let's hop back in our loader tractor. Oh, we had it unhooked, which will bring us on to our next loader object that I use on pretty much every Let's Play and anytime that I'm messing around. And this is the Flegel large capacity buckets. I believe there's 4 of them. They got a large capacity. They're the biggest ones we get for loader. Like I said, it's just a normal bucket. We'll look at that in the store once. Back again, under loaders. And I'll show you the next part that goes with this also. I don't use it very often, but I have used it. Here's our large capacity shovels. 1250 liter, 1550, 1850, and 2150, which is the one I have. And here you can see we've got whatever color you kind of want. We can make it match the John Deere if you wanted. So it's got a nice customization there. And then with this pack, you have these 2 brushes for cleaning up your animal pens. You got a 2 meter and a 3 meter. So these are part of this pack. Like I said, this is one of my favorites that I use too, this pack. And we'll go up to it here. Turn that off. And you got to use these buckets with these brushes. It only works with these Flegel large capacity buckets. And if you're cleaning your animals, their feed area, all you do is you simply go on and brush. But that brush will not work on any other loader bucket that there is. So yeah, that's that one. My next 2 mods, like I said, I'm trying to get through this as quick as possible for you guys, is this. It's the Case 4130 Harvester from Farm Central Soul. Why do I like this one so much? Let's look in the shop and you'll see why. We'll go under Harvesters. Here it is, $51,000. It's cheap as chips again, and it does have a bunch of customizations. You can change color to anything you want, rim color to anything you want. Design, you can hit standard or cover on your grain tank. And then you got your wheel setups. You got transport, twin wheels, and back to standard. So it's not a lot of customizations, but there are some. And as you notice, it's only 235 horsepower. And it holds 7,000 liters, so it's not a very big combine. This is a starting out combine that I love using. Like I said, for one, it's cheaper than the Bisons. And like I said, it holds 7,000 liters, and you can put a pretty decent sized head on this one. Oop, I don't want to lease it, I already have one. Let's get out of there. We'll hop in, check out the cab. Like I said, it's pretty basic inside, but like I said, it's a nice machine and a nice cost. Start him up here. See the deflector on there to get rid of the shaft that dusted in the air. Which brings us on to my next mod. It's not this head in particular. This head is part of the pack for tool height for I gotta remember how to say this. Words gotta come out of my mouth again. Tool height for headers. And this is also by DD Mod Passion. And with this header, this is I do this more for my own private playing. It's got a little bit of a tilt to it there, but as you can see, if you hold your, well, let me turn the help menu on. If I hold my right bumper, you can manually put down the head with your right joystick. Start the machine up, and the trick to all of these, there's only certain ones. I'll show them to you here in a minute. But as you can see, if we were harvesting, we'd be harvesting at 14 miles an hour, 16. This combine does not go 26 miles an hour. 21 is the highest I've ever seen this one go down the road. It's a little bit of a drawback with it, but for a lot of the smaller combines, most of them only go like 13 to 15 miles an hour. So again, that's why I like this combine, and that's why I love this head pack. This tool height for harvesters. take him off there. Now let's look at that in the store. Really, there's not much to look at with it, but if you want to use those heads, you can use them on any harvester in-game. We'll go under Headers, and you notice on the bottom of the screen it says headers are attached to harvesters. If you keep scrolling across, you'll see it says Tool Height Control for Harvester. Like I said, this will work on any harvester in-game, you know, as long as it's big enough to take whatever head that you're using, and they'll all do the same thing. You got all of these heads that you can use. That is it right there. So you got big heads all the way to the, I mean, the Bison, if you want to go 13 miles an hour, you can use that head. Again, I use it on my personal Let's Plays all the time. Like I said, big fields you can do in a hurry. You just got to be careful stopping if you got crop destruction off or on. You can kind of overdo it and run over some of your crops. You got to be careful with stopping, but yeah, as long as it says a Tool Height Control for Harvester down on the bottom of the screen here, then it'll work. Let's shut him off. Moving on. Speaking of headers, one that I use a lot on my Let's Plays and everything else. These two are the Lizard Cutter Pack. These are just an example of them. It comes in two sizes. It comes in the larger one and the 9 meter. And let's look at these in the store while we're under headers. Oh, I'm going to take that back. Let's look under corn headers, because there's also corn headers you can use as a tool height for harvester. So you got all of these that you can use too. They'll do the same exact thing. So again, you can do that with the tool height for harvester. And while I'm on that subject as well, let's look under forage harvesters. You got these. These will do the same thing. You can drive fast with these forage harvester headers. Sorry, I just about forgot about that. I don't remember if this one shows that. Yeah, you got a couple headers under beet technology too, that with the beet harvester you can actually go more than 6 miles an hour with it. This is a head I use often here. In fact, even doing contracts, if I use, you know, their equipment, I might lease this header myself just to make it go a lot faster. Alright, now let's go back under our Lizard Cutter Pack, which I believe is way towards the end here. You can see they're pretty drab looking, the 45-foot header and the Draper Stream 900, so all of them have the trailers built on. But John Deere doesn't have a head in this game that's got its own trailer. So you can go under here. Like you can see, I had the one made for John Deere there earlier. Let's make this one. Well, you can make it Case International too, even though there's already one in game for Case International. But you can make it for Deutz, you can make it for Fendt. But let's go under John Deere. We'll turn that green. Rim color, we'll make the rims yellow just to make it John Deere. And then more design color here, which is more your snoots on the side. We'll put them up to John Deere also. Then if you look at decals, you can have none. You can have Fendt, John Deere, which makes it look nice, Case IH, New Holland, Kloss, Massey Ferguson, and none. Again, this is one of my favorite kind of go-tos also here. This set, like I said, it comes, both of them have the same, basically the same customizations to them. So yeah, let me look at my list here. We got our Lizard Cutter Pack. We got our egg pellet done. We got our Flegel large capacity buckets done. Yeah, that is it there. Moving on. We have this, the John Deere 2410 Plow. And this is by J.A. Modding. And with this plow, I love using it no matter what, because it'll go about 9 miles an hour, and it's a pretty wide area. You can create fields with it. Let's go over here. We'll find it here. It's 12 meters wide, 9 miles an hour, takes 200 horsepower, so it's not overly, you know, you can use a fairly small tractor on this and still do good. On here you can customize it and put a hitch configuration on it. There is a roller pack that you can put on here that will give it the cultivated state if you want to pull the crumbler, I guess. Or you can have, have a harrow on here which doesn't do anything. It's just for looks. Or you can have the harrow with the hitch so you can put the crumbler behind. But again, $55,000, so it's not very expensive. Like I said, 200 horsepower requirement and 12 meters. And that's going to bring me on to the next. This is part A of my 17. Part B of my 17. Oop, we're going to find under miscellaneous, tools and miscellaneous. And that is a 3-point hitch drawbar. Here's the drawbar, nothing major to it, $100. You can change it to any color you kind of want here to match whatever. And that you'll see I got hooked to the tractor here already. Here we got a 7R. Again, that's in my, with a loader mounts on it. Alright, you got to make sure that the drawbar, you can look on the top left-hand side, it says lower drawbar, which we lower it. That's the way it usually comes when you hook it up, so you want to make sure you lift it up. And what that does for you, instead of going 9 miles an hour, we'll allow create field here. We'll lower the plow. And with that drawbar, you can get some damage done in a hurry. This is a great, great plow. Like I said, that adapter just makes it so much faster. I mean, I'm showing you some of my cheaty ways that I do stuff as well. So bear with me. Yeah, you can get a lot of area done in a short time. Again, that's a John Deere 2410 plow by J.A. Modding. And the 3-point adapter is by ARL G3. And everything here, this is on console. Any consoles can get this. Well, PC can get any of these too. And they're all in the mod hub. I'm going to make sure I limit the fields here so I can park this. Which, while we're on the subject of plows, we've got this baby. This one comes with me on every map too. I love a nice straight plow like this. This is the Lizard 6M. It used to be called the Weba in FS17, but it's the same thing, and it works the same way. We'll look at that in plows. Here it is, the Subsoiler 6M under plows. Takes 180 horsepower, you'll notice, 6 meters. So like I said, this takes just about as much horsepower as that 12-meter plow. But it will go 10 miles an hour. And here too, the only customizations you can do the tines on it, or the shanks, or the main color, or whatever you kind of like. That's kind of a pretty color there, I guess. But yeah, it's $17,600, so it's not very expensive either. And we'll hop in the tractor over here. Here we got a 6R. I don't know if the 6R has 180 horsepower. It might. We'll hook it up to the 3-point. And again, it does the same functions. It plows. We'll allow create fields. And we'll put it down. And you can see we're going 9 miles an hour. Usually we should go about 10, so the tractor might be a little underpowered. And you can see it's got a 3-point on the back end of it also, so you can hook a 6-meter seeder to it if you wanted to, if it was a 3-point. But let's unhook it. There's a trick up the sleeve on this one too that I like to use. Again, if you're starting a farm on a map and you got smaller equipment, this is kind of cheaty also. You can hook it up backwards. You see the shanks are all facing backwards. And it'll still work the same way. Oh, I guess I got to allow create fields back on. I didn't know that would reset that way. Yeah, like I said, this is one of my top 17 here also. Love using this. And it's a straight plow, so it doesn't make the V shape like the other one. So This one I like to use to make edges of fields. If I'm making a bigger field, like on no man's land here, I'll use this one quite a bit just to get my borders and get things straight, because it's a lot easier to go straight with this one than the 2410 John Deere. But yeah, that's the Lizard 6M, and that one is by Black Sheep Modding. And all of the stuff is pretty low on the slot counts. I guess I'm sorry I wasn't looking at that for you, but these are all, none of the stuff is very high, except these tractors. Like I said, these John Deere 7R, 6R, and 8Rs are my honorable mentions, just because of the way they look and the great American style that custom modding did to them. Next up, we have this baby. This is our MVU8 fertilizer spreader from FSSA modding team. And you can see it's more of a Ukrainian kind of looking, Russian looking fertilizer spreader, but I use this one a lot too. This one comes with me everywhere. So again, this one's in my top 17. We'll go under fertilizer technology. I was right by it there. Scroll on over. Here it is. $7,350. It holds 11,000 liters and it spreads at 20 meters, and it will do fertilizer or lime at 12 miles an hour. Again, here there's some customizations. Not a lot of them, but there's a few here for colors. But all you need, you can change your rim color, and design color changes the frame underneath there. And wheel setup, we got a bunch here. You got the KF97, the J187, which is what I have used right now, kind of a knobbly tire, or back to the standard again. Let's check this one out. Again, another 6R here. We'll hook him up. Now we're going to try out the CNS Anne Marie multi-filling silo. Get underneath here, start filling. You can do lime or fertilizer. We'll go with fertilizer. It spreads a little bit wider. This is a typical one, but now you can see 11,000 liters is going to cost us how much here? Look at the top right hand side, $880. That's why I love that multi-filling station. Like I said, this comes with me on every Let's Play also. You'll probably see it on my 6 Ashes right now, or if you're watching my my Griffin, Indiana, I'm using it on there too. And like I said, it'll do fertilizer or lime. So that's in my top 17 mods. I got a lot of stuff sitting around here. My next one of my top 17 is the Claas Quantum 3800K. I got to cross this off my list. The Claas Quantum Loading Wagon 3800 is by White Bull Modding. This comes with me on every map, and I'm going to show you why in the store here. We'll go under Loading Wagons. And there it is at the end, the Quantum 3800K. Look at that, $28,000, and it holds 35,000 liters, and it goes 12 miles an hour. So again, it's very inexpensive, very low on the horsepower requirement. So I use this all the time, because look at the one next to here, 53,000, but takes 240 horse and $140,000. So like I said, this one comes with me everywhere too. We'll hook that up on a Massey. I'm going to give you Massey guys some love here. I don't have any grass cut or anything, but we will try this out in a little bit. We'll cut some grass and I will show you this one. We'll come back to this. Let's circle on over here. This is my next one, the Vicon Kverneland. And this is your fast bale. And this is in the Kverneland Vicon Equipment Pack by Giant Software. So anybody can get this. It's part of the DLC. And what's great about this baler, it bales at a nice speed, but as you're baling, it'll automatically eject the bale and wrap it all at the same time, and it will unload the bale as you're traveling. It does slow down a little bit if you get some big windrows, you know, and your front chamber, your back chamber is getting kind of full of hay or straw. It will slow down to like 4 miles an hour or something just to keep up, but it is, like it says, fast bale. And we'll look under baling technology at that one. Ooh, here we go. Fast bale, 110,000, so it costs a little bit, but 150 horsepower required for it. 4,000 liter bales. It'll do hay, straw, or grass. It only wraps grass bales, you know, to make them into silage bales at 11 miles an hour. Again, this one too will come back here in a little bit. We'll get him hooked up and ready to go. So I got to remember my two Massies. We're just about done with our list here for 17. The next on to 17 here is this. The Fendt 51X, they call it, is the Fendt 500 Favorite. And we'll look at him in the store here. Under tractors, small tractors. This one comes with me a lot. Not this one. It's a modded one. And you can get the gear shift sound or the standard sound with it. And as you can see, it's $76,000, which isn't bad for a 115 horsepower tractor. And it goes 32 miles an hour. But now the magic happens in the customization here. Let's say we want the tractor this color, but we don't want to spend this kind of money. $77,000 the way it sits. We can go under all these colors here. There's old and new metal. So for the rims, let's go with old metal. Can't tell any different. And under main color, you got these colors. You can see I went with this color here. You got black or you got orange. But let's go old metal. And look at the prices. Right where it says rim color, it says plus 500, and main color, it's plus $40,000. So now if you look at the bottom right hand side, it's $36,730 for this tractor. Brand new, but with used colors. You got Midas, Trelleborg, Michelin, and Nokian tires on it. Under Midas, we got standard or wheel weights. Under Trelleborg, we have wide tires, wides with weights, narrow tires, which makes it handy for fertilizing and working in your fields. It's got rear twins with the narrows, twin wheels, and back to standard. Under Michelin, we have standard, and we have wide tires with a different rim. I don't know, the rims look the same to me, but oh, okay, there we go. You can see it's got the different style of rim in the back and in the front there, which is kind of neat looking. And back to standard. And you can have a Yara sensor for your GPS, which is that sensor bar right there. Or you can have it without GPS. You can have the John Deere Starfire 6000, which also puts a monitor in your cab. And you got the Yara sensor with the GPS. And back without again. In design, you can have without fenders, with or without fenders. And look at the front here. We got a 3-point. With or without PTO, I'd recommend a PTO, but if you wanted to save some money first, you could always add that later. Engine setup, we have 115, 125 horse, 140 horse, 150 horse, which is what the in-game one goes up to. Plus, you got the tuning, which brings it up to 195 horse. 195 horse tractor for $55,000 as it sits right here. That's a heck of a bargain. We'll hop in him once. So you can see I went with the blue and the white rims. Old colors, of course. And I didn't put any GPS or anything in this one. You hear it sounds nice. Like I say, it goes 32 miles an hour. It's a very, very great starting tractor. I use this one a lot too. And that's the Fendt 500 series. And again, this is by Fahrer, Fahrer. I'm sorry about my pronunciation. It's the 500 Favorite gear shift sound is what the version is here. The 51X Fendt, they're kind of called. Under small tractors by Fahrer. Which, I think we're just about done. I'm looking down my list here. We got 2 left. And our last tractor here is this baby. This is the Magnum MX, the older style Magnum. And this is by Casarius Modding. And let's look at him in the store. He's under medium tractors. And here it is, MX Magnum Series. As you can see, it starts out at $60,000. Don't pay attention to that 320 because that's not correct on this part. Here you go. Nice looking tractor. I use this one a lot too, especially if I get little bigger farms starting. But because of the price of it, yeah, I use it quite a bit. This one you can get a weight bracket. You gotta excuse my PS4. I don't know why it does that for the menus here. A big bracket. You got 700 kilogram weights, 900 kilogram weights, or you can have a front 3-point hitch with a PTO. And Lizard. Wheel brands, you have Lizard, Michelin, or Lizard. So under Lizard we have singles. And these tires that are on here now will not destroy crop. They are like a row crop tire. They got rear duals with weights, rear duals with outside weights, and then you got the hubs that you can put on the front. And it's kind of a wider front end here. You can see it's kind of widened out. Or duals all around, or with weights. Or you got a different style of rim up front with duals. And you're back to singles with this front style rim here. Rear duals, hubs, the wider stance again. Like I said, it's just basically using a different front or different rim. See, now we're back to that style again. Under Michelin, we've got wide singles, wide duals, singles, rear duals, weights, and we got a wider front end here, narrower front end with weights in the back and the hubs, the wider stance, duals all around with weights, wide singles again. Fenders, yes or no basically for front fenders or rear fenders. You can see it widens those rear fenders out, more of a European style there, but keeps mud off your cab if you're in muddy situations. And attachers, we have standard, which is kind of more of a European 3-point hitch, or you can have a quick hitch. Windows, regular or tinted. And here's our engine setups, the MX 180. We'll go back to that. 145 horse, 165, 185, 230, 270, or 285 is the maximum horsepower you can get out of this. That's the one I go with a lot. But $111,000 for just about 300 horsepower tractor. Extremities, you can have the USA flashers on it or not. And then you can have a front loader attacher on it, yes or no. Let's check him out. Again, 32 miles an hour. This one I have the 285 here. It's a 285 horsepower, and we can drive and not destroy any crops with these wheels. Yeah, very nice tractor. I use this one a lot. It turns on a dime for a front wheel assist tractor. But yeah. That's number 16. Let's head over here, and I'll show you number 17. Number 17 got kind of put over, way over yonder here. And that's right here. The Kverneland Terrap TA753 by No Name is the modder of this. And yeah, as you can see, it does not come looking like this. We'll go under Tools and Windrowers. Here it is, Kverneland Terrap TA753C, $14,000, so it's cheap. Only takes 45 horsepower, 7 meters, so it's got a nice width to it, 11 miles an hour. And here you can see this is what it comes looking like stock. But you can change the rim color to anything on here. That's where I went with the John Deere. We can do it. Let's do a Kloss looking rim color there. And again, a lot of colors here also, and Kloss. So if you wanted a Kloss looking windrower, there you have it. We're going to test these all out, all this hay equipment out here in a minute. Let's hop in a Kloss area in here. And the rear wheels turn when you turn, so it helps turn it. But yeah, very nice little rake here. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna look at this in the baler and the loading wagon in a minute. That's my 17 mods. My honorable mentions. I don't use them on every map, but I have them installed all the time. And that is these. This is the Novacat 301 Vera. This is a front mower. And then we have the butterfly mower in the back here, the Novacat X8 Varia. And what I like about these mowers, they're kind of spendy, like most disc mowers are, but you can see this little deal down here. You can narrow it and do windrows with it, or you can leave it, this little indicator kind of moves. You can move it. It's out on widespread right now. And you can see the same thing for the front mower. That is why I use these mowers quite often. Not all the time. That's why they're honorable mentions. Look at these guys in the store under mowers. Here's the in-game one. You can't make them into a windrow. That's the only difference in them. The price is the same, the horsepower requirements. And here's these guys, $19,000 at 3.1 meters. No customizations, 70 horsepower, 13 miles an hour. And the butterfly mower, $42,000, 8.4 meter width on that one, 13 miles an hour for $42,000. So like I said, they're not cheap, but they're not terrible. I got a 8R here. Like I said, again, these are my honorable mention also. The John Deere US series by Custom Modding. I'm not gonna, show them in the store so much, but there's a lot of customizations to them. They're an honorable mention. You got to bear with me 1 second here. We need to go in here, and we're gonna buy this land. Now we'll hop in the tractor here. We'll hook up the front mower. Now, if I can get down on it, see that right by the box up front there? It's wider or narrower. I got it set to narrow right now. I got it folded out. Let's hook up the butterfly mower and do the same thing. See if I can kind of get on it. About as close as I can get right there. As you see, that goes wider or narrower. So you can have it, here we're on a windrow. Lower it down, turn it on. Switch to the front mower, lower it down, turn it on. And you can see we're mowing in a windrow. Also with this mower pack, you can hook these two together. And you can you can put them on the front of a tractor. Nice to have some weight because they are heavy. But I've done it with loading wagons behind. So you can hook both of these to your front 3-point, pending that you got a front 3-point. But yeah, they do a nice job, and it does a lot nicer job when you get them hooked together, because as you can see when I turn here, it leaves a little bit right behind. Most mower setups like this do that. But now, we're on the front mower. I got it set out to wide. Switch to the back mower. I just set that out to wide. As you can see, you can mow regular with it also if you want. Again, I use this one quite a bit. That's why it's an honorable mention. Alright. Let's get him out of the way here. Now, we're going to go back to my number 17 mod here. This Terrap windrower. I already have it lowered. Turn it on. Like I said, it's not a huge rake by any means, but you can see it doing the job here. But with this rake, you can also L1 bumper, X twice. You can fast farm with this one also. So that's what I like about this rake. Like I said, it's not a huge rake, but it's nice for smaller fields. We're moving it over here. I was going to try to get to some of the wider windrow. Again, a little cheaty, but you can use it the way, whatever way you want it. It's a game, after all. Like I said, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing here, but I'm just going a little faster. But yeah, so that's the Terrap, the Kverneland Terrap. Let me unhook him a minute. Or let me just shut him off. Let's go to my next honorable mention before we go to the balers. My next honorable mention is this, the milling machine. I don't necessarily always use it, but I do use it most of the time for cleaning out bunker silos, is mostly what I use it for. Some people use it just for like loading wagons. And this you'll find under miscellaneous. The milling machine. Let's look at that once. The milling machine is by ChrisU70. ChrisU70. Milling machine, ChrisU70. Like I said, this will be on a lot of people's 17 top mods. There it is, milling machine, only $5,000. Says it takes 95 horsepower, and it picks up basically anything. And here you can see you can change the main color to anything you kind of want. Go to a cloth looking if you want. Design changes your rotors in the front there. Just like that. So like I said, now 6100 with the customizations, I guess. But we'll hop in this cloth here. I just got a random wagon here. Whoa. I hit that wrong. I'm not the best driver all the time. Okay, let's switch to the milling machine. We got to unfold the milling machine and put the pipe out. Lower the milling machine. Turn it on. Let me get rid of this window here so we can see a little better. You got to kind of start out a little slow because it'll miss spots like it did there. But yeah, I mean, otherwise you can go 18 miles an hour or however fast, and it's got a nice wide pickup to it too. So like I said, this is really handy for bunker silos. So that's why it's one of my honorable mentions. Again, that's a milling machine by ChrisU70. I just don't want to walk all the way over here. Let's go back to try out our baler. I'll show you how this works. Again here, unfold it first. We'll lower our pickup in the front there. Turn it on. And as you can see, we're baling now. Like I said, it's going a little slower because our windrow is a little bigger. You know, it'll go up to 9 miles an hour and then it goes back down. And we'll try to get to a bale here in a second. There's going into the second chamber of the baler. So now it's filling out the rest of the bale. See, now it's popping the bale out the back end and going to start wrapping it while the front end of the baler is filling up. So as you can see, I'm not even stopping here at all. We're going on and baling, and that's why I absolutely love this baler. Wish it was a little cheaper, but hey, it's worth its money in gold. But there, like I said, you can see it kind of automatically kicks her off. Oop. I think we can go back one right here. Our last one that we got to look at here of our regular mods, our 17 mods. So hopefully I'm not confusing you guys with all of these, but I don't have a list of it all written down there for you, but I'll recap it at the end here. Oh, I need to unfold this one. I forgot about that. See how the top lifts up? Just regular loading wagon. Does its job. It doesn't have an overly wide pickup on it, but it's fairly wide. If I would drive better, it would do better. But Again, at the end of the day, it's a loading wagon, nothing real special. Mostly the price and the size of it is what I love about it. Again, that's the Claas Quantum 3800. My next honorable mention, while we're here, the TRex 600. Yeah, like I said, I don't use this on all maps because some I do logging on, some I don't even worry about the logs. But this you'll find under forestry machines. Here it is, the TRex, 190,000, so it ain't no cheap one. 200 horsepower it says, but I think it's more like 1,000. You can change the main color to anything there. Forestry, yes or no, or it adds the grid to it. Wheel setup, as you'll notice, these are 3D tracks on this one. That was just a recent update on here. You got the wide tracks, you got wide tires, and then back to standard again. Again, it's not cheap, but you can turn it on. You can manually raise and lower this and tilt it, do whatever you want. You can put attachments behind it, but look at this. You can clear a forest in a hurry with this thing. You get no wood chips or anything. Like I said, it's a little cheaty, but it's fun to use. Like I said, if you're trying to set up a farm or, you know, an acreage or whatever, or build a field, it's a very highly recommended mod. And this is by Black Sheep Modding also. I don't want to forget to mention that. There, that's a Lizard TRex 600 by Black Sheep Modding. Which, I think we're getting close to the end here. I think this is it. This is my last honorable mention. I pretty much bring this to every map with me, but I don't always use it. I like the way it looks. This is the Case International 2150 Early Riser Planter. And this is by Custom Modding. I got one of our MX, or older style Magnums. It's newer than an MX, but older than the new style Magnums. Like I said, I'm going through these a little quicker. These, I'm going to open the cover here. We'll go to the Alien Gem Mercury Farms seed shed here and get some seed for it. We'll look at it in the store here in a minute. Seeds. And this one will do fertilizer also. I don't have this one set up for fertilizer. I have this one set up like I would normally use it. $2,500 for that seed, which is probably somewhat realistic. It all folds up. This one's got a scale on the back end. Got a couple buckets laying on the catwalk there. Not overly fast on the folding and unfolding, but a lot faster than the DB120 John Deere is, if you guys are familiar with that planter. That takes about 2 minutes to unfold. I just love the way this planter looks and sounds. It's a vacuum planter. It sounds like our vacuum planter that we have in real life. Ours is a John Deere, but it sounds the same. I'll turn on the help window here. We can lower the sower. We'll turn it on. Now listen to this. Planting corn, got a little bit of dust behind it. Again, this one, double tap, and you can fast farm with it. That's your left one bumper, and double tap real fast, hold that down, and then double tap real fast with the X if you wanted to fast farm. You don't have to do it. Again, it's a game, play it how you want. I like the way it sounds when it shuts down. Yeah, let's look at him in the store a minute. Let's go under Tools, and this will be under Planting. Planters. Scroll on over. I got so many. I could have had so many more. Oh, this comes in a 12 row 30 inch or a 16 row 30. I have the 16 row 30. Their customizations are going to be identical. It's one's 9.1 meters and one's 12.2 meters. And you can see they plant corn, sunflowers, soybeans, sugar beets, or cotton. and they do seed or fertilizer if you have it set up right. It will go a little faster than 8 miles an hour if you do a little cheaty with the fast farming. Holds 6,551 liters. We'll go and customize one. You can have a hydraulic oil cooler on the front. Takes a while for this. It costs a lot of money for that, $7,900. I usually don't put it on, but you can have that. You can put numbers on it. Like I said, again, everything is so slow. You can see the number in the back there, number 1. You can have a rear attacher to this. So if you wanted to put on more fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, you can pull a liquid fertilizer tank with this and have more capacity that you're not filling up all the time. Supplemental buckets, they go up on top of that deck there, right by your bulk tanks there. See the buckets there? Yes or no? And you can have the nice Lizard Destination Farm tires, or you can have the 3D tracks, Lizard S-Tech 012P, or you could have bulk fill scale. Again, that's up on the top here, right up there. It'll show you how many liters that you have in it. Now you can have hoppers or tanks. You can have row hoppers, which holds a lot less, only holds 1,071 liters of just seed. You can have a liquid fertilizer tank with them. You can have the bulk fill with liquid fertilizer. Or you can have even more fertilizer tanks to them, the center one. And that's 6,551 total liters. Or have the bulk fill. It holds 3,523 liters of seed only in this configuration. And you can have, this is all for looks here too, you can have smart boxes. That's an insecticide. This is actually just the holder of them. They're on the back here. Oop. Let's get off of that again. Ridge markers is what it kind of comes with standard, but look at them. They're $11,000 for ridge markers. Weights are $400 just to weight down your wings a little more to make it plant a little more even and in real life. But here's our smart box option again. It adds them way to the back there. And like I said, those aren't the containers of the insecticide. Those are just the holders. There would be a weight tub that would actually go on there in real life. We do use them in real life for insecticide to keep the bugs out of the corn. But again, on the wing options, you have stock, you have weights, you have ridge markers. Like I said, $11,000 option. Nowadays with GPS, you don't really need them, but we have them on our planter in real life. Yeah, back to stock. So there, that's kind of my list of everything. Again, I'll go down here and let you know what I got. I got the multi-silo shop by CNS Anne Marie, the MX Magnum by Casarius Modding, the 51X Fendt series tractors by Faharer. Got the Lizard 6M meter plow by Black Sheep Modding, the John Deere 2410 plow by JA Modding. Got the tool height for harvesters by DD Mod Passion, the Case International 4130 harvester by Farm Central Sol, the Lizard cutter pack, the headers that we showed by Top Ace 888. I think I forgot to mention that. Top Ace 888 made the Lizard cutter pack. You got the egg pellet by Quiet Hitman, or the whole pallet series, the refillable pallet by Quiet Hitman. Mercury Farm shed pack by Alien Jim. The wooden multi-fruit silo, or the silo wood, by Omatana. The MVU-8 fertilizer spreader by FSSA Modding Team. The Flegel large capacity loader buckets by Maxter. I forgot to say that one too. I'm sorry. Maxter is the modder of those. The big bag handler in the CSZ pack by DD Mod Passion. The Vicon Fast Bale in the Kverlin Vicon equipment pack from Giant Software. The Klaas Quantum loading wagon 3800 by White Bull Modding. And finally my top 17 Kverlin Terrap TA753 windrower. Well, everybody, that is my top 17 list for Farming Simulator 19 mods. I'm so glad you tuned in and stayed for this long. If you have, here's the D754 pack that I love using too. It does take up a bit of download room on there though, but Other than that, I will leave you with this, and yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time, we'll see you again, and feel free to comment and hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Thank you for now. Bye, everybody.